Here at Sangfroid, we have perfected the process of integration. Through this simple procedure, you can preserve the very best part of yourself. The one organ that defines you as you, and replace your vulnerabilities with invincible technology. At Sangfroid, cooler heads prevail.
Disintegration is the latest effort by the Halo co-creator Marcus Lehto and his new development team V1 Interactive. They set out with a lofty goal of trying to create an entirely new genre of game. This ambitious mashup of real-time strategy and first-person shooter is full of charm and impressive visuals. Unfortunately, the ideas just feel hollow. Let me explain. Disintegration is set in a sci-fi world where people's consciousness are being integrated into robot forms, kind of like Ghost in the Shell. Of course, as you'd expect, this creates a faction of evil corporations enslaving people's minds to create murder bots. You play as Romer Shao, an integrated ex-celebrity and grave cycle racer, leading a resistance for freedom and to reclaim their human bodies. People Being Integrated works to connect the story and gameplay in an interesting way. As you'd expect out of a real-time strategy game, your units are meant to die and be replaced. But the first-person narrative demands a more personal story and interesting characters. But don't worry, since your squad mates are integrated, when they die, their physical forms will just be reconstructed and sent right back into battle. But unlike a real-time strategy game, you actually end up commanding a small squad rather than an army. But the big difference with Disintegration with other tactical squad shooters is your access to the grave cycle, which allows you to change your elevation and hover wherever you want. This can give you a high vantage point, allowing you to command from above like a real-time strategy game. However, the thing is that the sky doesn't have anything to hide behind, meaning you will be spending almost all of your gameplay stuck on the ground anyways. So yeah, in the end it feels like a squad shooter. This is where the problems come in. Early within development, Disintegration is reported to have been a real-time strategy game, but they decided that was too plain and came up with the first-person shooter angle. It's not a terrible idea considering real-time strategy games have been in the decline as of late, with first-person shooters steadily rising. I also like the idea of trying to breathe new life into a real-time strategy as well. But unfortunately, I can tell that this was an idea thrown in at the end. The genres just don't jive well, at least not in the way that Disintegration does it. You can't just put sushi on a pizza and call it Japanese-Italian fusion, right? The way it is, it currently feels like a watered-down real-time strategy combined with a watered-down first-person shooter. The biggest culprit is the first-person shooter part of it, as it doesn't feel satisfying to shoot anything. Your guns don't do any damage, and every enemy feels like a giant bullet sponge. Without hit zone values either, you can't improve your damage by scoring headshots. To be able to deal damage, you need to order your squad to hit your opponents with abilities that will make them more vulnerable. I understand that they don't want you to just win the game by being a good shooter, but it just feels like a ham-fisted solution. The major problems with the abilities are their insanely long cast times, leading to everything feeling unresponsive. To fix this problem, abilities track their targets, but that just means it rewards you for spamming the abilities off cooldown rather than placing them strategically. Additionally, simplifying the real-time strategy component meant they did away with the resource management part of it. So yes, you can sit back and endlessly send in your endless supply of squad mates and eventually grind anything down. Is it a fun way to play? No, but it works every time. Honestly, the game just bored me. No matter how I played, strategy focused, reckless, or balanced, every enemy I fought could be defeated the same way: spam abilities. I tried playing in all the difficulties too. The easy side is too easy, and hard is even worse because rather than making the game harder, it just turns the enemies into a thicker sponge. There is an online mode, and the added chaos and customization is definitely great. Still, I was feeling that I'd rather play other better real-time strategy games or first-person shooters over Disintegration. but maybe you would like the unique mix of styles and multiplayer. Overall, this was a solid effort that felt quite polished. Unfortunately, it's just missing the most important thing in video games: fun. Perhaps some updates could fix this, but it would take a creative overhaul to do so.